Patty. Here reporting today's topic, the Federal Reserve, overseen by Congress. The Federal Reserve System is specially structured to facilitate the exchange of payments among the U.S. region. The Federal Reserve System is split into three parts: the Board of Governors, the Regional Reserve Bank, and the Federal Open Market Committee. Outside the agency of the Board of Governors is reporter Ashley in Washington, D.C.
Thank you, Cindy. The Board of Governors consists of 7 officials who guide the Federal Reserve's policy actions. I'm here outside the agency with Governor Alex Gonzalez. Alex, can you tell me about the Board of Governors?
Well, each governor is appointed by the President and confirmed by the Senate, during which each term lasts about 14 years. During this time, we help formulate policies to make our nation economically stronger. We also study economic issues and exercise supervisory control over certain state-chartered financial institutions, as well as banks that own companies.
Now, Alex, what would you say would be the most prominent responsibility one must undertake as a Board of Governors?
Well, the board's most important responsibility is participating in the Federal Open Market Committee, the committee that directs all the nation's monetary policies.
Thank you, Alex. Back to you in the studio.
Now Patricia will introduce the topic of Federal Reserve Banks.
Thank you, Cindy. I'll take it from here. The Federal Reserve Banks operate somewhat independently, but under the general oversight of the Board of Governors. Reserve banks contribute to the national policy discussions, provide a regional banking perspective, and knowledge about their local economies. Now Ashley has made a rapid trip to San Francisco, where she will interview the appointed president of that region's Federal Reserve Bank.
Whew, what a weather difference. I'm here with the San Francisco Reserve Bank President, Mr. Ricky Quiroz. Ricky, can you tell me how the San Francisco Reserve Bank offers financial services?
Well, the Financial Reserve Bank stores commercial banks' excess currency and coin. The primary responsibility, however, is to ensure that the fluctuations in the demand for currency and coin do not disrupt the banking industry. We are also under constant supervision by the Fed to ensure that safe banking practices are being enacted and consumers' financial transactions are being protected. Reserve Bank examiners also review a bank's performance in complying with its own internal policies, as well as the federal and state regulations.
Thank you, Ricky. Back in the studio with you, Cindy.
And the third part of the Federal Reserve System is the Federal Open Market Committee, which is the chief body of monetary policy. Typically, the FOMC meet up 8 times a year in Washington, D.C. to discuss economic conditions. Yet we will meet more often when required. Back in Washington is reporter April with New York's Reserve Bank President Aaliyah.
So I am here with Santuyoper2 to ask, what is being discussed in these Federal Open Market Committees?
Usually, I discuss the developments in the financial and foreign exchange markets, as well as update the activities of the New York Federalist Trade Index. This is where the U.S. government securities are purchased and sold. The staff of the Board of Governors also provides their economic and financial changes, and everyone offers their views on the economic outlook.
I see. And can you briefly elaborate the monetary policy that is being dealt through the New York Fed's trading desk?
Well, the FOMC's primary role is to discuss the monetary policy options that would best promote the economy's sustainable growth. There is expansion policy, in which the open market purchases government securities and increases the amount of reserve funds that banks have available to lend. Expansionary policy thus eases the pressure on the federal funds rate. Contractionary policy, on the other hand, is the selling of government securities, shrinking the funds available to lend, and raises the Federal Reserve rate. This tightening slows the momentum of the economy.
Thank you. And back to Cindy and Patricia in the studio.
It is not apparent that the solution to attaining a healthy economy comes from monetary policies, a safe banking system to contribute to an effective payment system.
So as long as the Federal Reserve System focuses and succeeds in accomplishing its 3 responsibilities, our economy should thrive once again.
That's right, Patricia. Well, that concludes the evening segment on the Federal Reserve System. Good night and stay open.